The war in Afghanistan is called the Forever War. Is India prepared to join it? Why do we ask the question? Because India has been asked to, not fight the war, but to help end it. The others on the talking table could be Russia, China, Pakistan, Iran, the US, the Afghan government and the Taliban. What should India's response be? What role should India sign up for in Afghanistan? On Gravitas tonight, we'll discuss what Delhi stands to gain and lose here. Let me start from the beginning. For almost 4 decades now, Afghanistan has been locked in a state of war. Different wars, but war nonetheless. A dialogue for peace began last year. People hoped that peace would follow. So far, that has not happened. The peace dialogue is stalled. The war is very much on. Violence has only increased. The promise of a ceasefire was never fulfilled. In the month of February, at least 257 pro-government forces and 66 civilians died in 1 month alone. The American-led troops in Afghanistan are staring at a hard deadline. 10,000 troops are supposed to pull out by the 1st of May. With no peace deal yet, there is a growing threat of a quote-unquote spring offensive by the Taliban. Apparently, they could make rapid military gains once the American troops are gone. The United States is now making a big push to restart the dialogue for peace, and Washington wants India's help with that. It wants regional powers to have a greater say in the process. At the same time, it wants the Taliban to have a seat at the table. Not just the talking table. It wants the Taliban to join the government in Afghanistan. So what is Joe Biden's plan for peace in this country, and how far is India prepared to go? First, let's tell you what the US is proposing. Since taking office, Joe Biden and his aides have been conducting a review. They have been assessing the work done by the Trump administration. Over the weekend, Team Biden began taking its first steps towards resuming the dialogue. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken wrote a letter. It was addressed to Afghanistan's President Ashraf Ghani. A copy of this was shared by a local broadcaster in Afghanistan. This letter offers clues on what America plans to do. The first move will be to accelerate the peace talks. They went on the back burner after the US presidential election. So the dialogue that began between the Afghanistan government and the Taliban will now move ahead. It's just that these will not be the only two sides involved. The dialogue will have more players now, which brings us to the second proposal. Blinken wants a United Nations-led peace conference for a peace deal in Afghanistan. The US Secretary of State wants the UN to convene a foreign ministers meeting. This will have representatives from Russia, China, Pakistan, Iran, India, plus the Afghan government, the Taliban and the United States. Why include so many countries? Blinken believes regional powers, and I'm quoting here, share an abiding common interest in a stable Afghanistan, which is why he wants India involved. Soon after that letter got out, reports say US envoy for these peace talks, Zalmay Khalilzad, the man leading the negotiations from America, dialed S. Jaishankar, India's external affairs minister. So Khalilzad and S. Jaishankar had a conversation. Both sides have not said very much about what was discussed, but it's safe to assume that the Afghan peace process came up. Why is this significant? Because this is a major shift. The Trump administration, remember, kept India out. Donald Trump said that all India had done was build a library in Afghanistan. He undermined the contribution of regional powers. He was criticized rather, for depending far too much on Pakistan for a peace deal in Afghanistan. Now, the Biden administration is looking to change that. Secretary of State Blinken is quite direct in his letter to the Afghan president. The United States wants India to participate in the peace dialogue. Delhi, we say, should welcome the proposal. It's always better to have a say than to observe from the sidelines. Now, the most contentious part of America's plan is this one: an interim power-sharing agreement between the Taliban and the elected leaders of Afghanistan. In other words, the US wants the Taliban to join the Afghan government. And that's a huge concession for a group that has not stopped violent attacks. That's also giving legitimacy to terrorism as an instrument of power grab. Reports say there is a proposal to establish a quote-unquote transitional peace government of Afghanistan with representatives from both sides. This will be followed by national elections. It seems like Afghanistan's president does not like the idea. 2 days ago, he said that he is ready to talk, but he believes the only way to form a government should be through an election.
We stand ready to discuss holding free, fair and inclusive elections under the auspices of international community. We can also talk about the date of the elections and reach a conclusion. I advise those who go to this or that gate to gain power is that political power in Afghanistan has a gate, and the key is the vote of the Afghan people.
So Kabul is sticking to its guns, and rightly so. It wants a democratic setup. Why should the Taliban be rewarded with a role in the government after all that they've done? What is the guarantee that they will end the attacks? What explains America's concession? Its desire to exit this war. They turned an entire country into a war laboratory, and now they want terrorists to join the government just so that the US can stick to its deadline of withdrawing troops. Yes, there are no easy answers or easy options for Joe Biden. His government is caught between a rock and a hard place. But this is a situation, we say, of America's making as much as anybody else's. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.